Have you ever wondered how messy a craft room could possibly get? You have come to the right spot. Hi, I'm Charity with Old Soul Factory, and this week I am going to be cleaning up my craft room. It is obviously an absolute disaster. I'm talking my desk is a mess, my side table's a mess, yarn is piled up higher than I am, and it's just bad. Along with that, I also got a new collection of yarn that I need to add to my shelves. I need to sort some safety eyes and stuff, so I've made a little to-do list per se that we need to kind of get through during this video. First things first is we need to clean off my desk. I'll put the little checklist up here so you can see what we're going to be working towards and working through during this video, but I really need to clean off my desk. That includes my main desk, like around my keyboard. That means my side table. I have a lot of stitch marker supplies that I have gotten out and have not put back away yet. I have yarns that I've gotten out for color challenges and videos, and they're just starting to stack up. And part of the reason for that is I have so many plushies that need to be tagged. And so like the usual places, I would usually throw like my yarn that I'm kind of like working on or just finished with like up here while I grab some new yarn. But since I have this entire shelf right here filled with plushies, along with my little workstation table and my actual table desk, it's just, there's plushies everywhere. So that's the second thing we need to do on our list today, is we need to make sure that we tag all of our plushies, price everything, get them all bagged back up, and move that inventory upstairs with everything else. I still have 2 full-size market bags filled with plushies upstairs, along with 2 already in here that you probably saw a second ago. So I just have all of the pink items from the pink video, the one skein color challenge. I have a lot of Minecraft bees and stuff from the last pattern that I had created. I have a bunch of purple things from the purple challenge video, and I have so many plushies. Again, I usually put them up here if I have room, but I literally didn't have room for them, so they're still on my literal desk. So it was time for a little deep clean. We needed to get this done, guys, okay? So I finally have a day off to get all of this stuff done, and then I also realized that on my desk I had a bunch of safety eyes, and if you know me, you know I have my safety eye organizer, which I'll get for a second. And I have a bunch of new eyes that I got from Stacy Makes that need to be put in here. So we just need to reorganize this a little bit and take inventory of what eyes we do have, because I know I mentioned in the last video that I need to order more. So I need to kind of take inventory of what I've got and what I'm missing and kind of fill in some gaps. So we might be placing an order for some safety eyes as well. And speaking of Stacy Makes, we love her. We love Mama Stacy over here, because that is my literal mom. But she is cleaning out her yarn collection, and I don't want to tell you how much yarn she might have sent my direction, but it's a lot of yarn, guys. Like, let me go get the bag. Let me go get the bag, and I'll just show you how much it is. So we have some more yarn to add to the collection. She was going through her stash and getting rid of a bunch of stuff that she doesn't use anymore, so I'll kind of unbox this when we fill in our yarn shelf and kind of show you what I got from her, what I kind of plan to use for some of it, and why I took it from her, because we do have different ways, not of crocheting, but different things that we like to work on and different yarns we like to work with and stuff. So I think that'll be a fun little behind the scenes thing to show you and let you guys in on as well. Oh my god, it's heavy. I can pretty much guarantee you we're not going to fit all of that into all of this, but, you know, it'll be a fun experience to see how much we can fit. So again, here's our checklist for today. As you can see, we've got a lot to get through, and a lot that needs to be done. I hope to get this done in a few hours, but knowing me, I will get distracted, and it will take longer than that, but it will definitely only take me a day to get through all of this. It is about... I don't have my watch on, but it is about noon right now, so actually it's about 1 o'clock, good lord. So I want to get this done by like 6 o'clock so I can sit down and actually crochet for the week and stuff. So that's kind of our goal right now, is hopefully 6 o'clock we can kind of get this all wrapped up. So first thing we need to do is kind of clean off the desk. I'm gonna move all of the yarns over to here for now, and we'll sort them when we go to sort all of the rest of it later. But I'm just gonna get everything off the desk in general, move the plushies over here, kind of shove them in here, or make a pile over here. since we're gonna go ahead and tag everything in just a minute anyways, and then we'll just kind of go from there and see what kind of happens. Okay, so again, I'll give you a little before and after as well, because it's quite a lot. So let me just show you how bad the desk is, because it's pretty bad. Also, please keep in mind, this is a judge-free channel. I know this is like pretty bad. It's an organized chaos. I've been functioning in it. This is just how I work. This is just finishing a project and picking up the next one without cleaning up after myself. Yes, I know it is truly messy, but honestly, it's functioning. It works for me. And I usually purge like this like once a week and clean everything up, but it's never gotten this bad. But I was also sick this week too, and I just had a lot of other things going on, and so it's been put off a little longer than usual. So it's getting to the point where I can hardly see my monitors on my desk, and I was like, yeah, this is terrible. I finally have a day off where I can get caught up on these things, so that's what I'm gonna work on. So again, I won't judge you if you don't judge me. We accept everybody. We listen and we don't judge here, okay? Okay, so again, I have lots of yarns still out from the previous projects. That's kind of the biggest concern and the biggest thing that's just taking up a lot of space. I have a lot of my cotton yarns over here on this particular shelf, so I need to get all of this cotton yarn put back over here and out of the way. Again, I have some beads and stuff that need to be moved. There's more under here, right there. And then so many plushies. They're just like hiding all over the place, okay? They're just tucked in, okay? It really will not take me long at all to clean all of this up, I don't think. So I'm just gonna put on a little time lapse, and I'll let you know if I find anything cool hidden in here that I kind of maybe forgotten about, because there's always a small chance of that. But like I said, it's an organized chaos, so I know where everything's at. It just doesn't look like it, okay? I am of course watching Stacy Makes, the mother, on YouTube. I love watching her videos. Makes me feel close to her, especially because I haven't got to see her a lot lately. So if you see that in the background, that's who it is. That's my mom. She's cute. Her little cute new haircut too. You should go check that out. So many plushies, but this little sloth, he's new. Isn't he adorable? She made this pattern. She's testing it right out. He's so cute. Jimmy the sloth with his little bandana. Cute. I'm gonna need my yarn winder out for this one. Guys, per usual, this is a bigger project than my ADHD brain could handle. And I got myself into something that I am going to have to finish now because I've started it. I have all the extra yarn set up in my chair. I'm just keeping it there for now, okay? I'm just keeping it there for now. We're gonna just keep it there until I decide what to do. I also realized that my little scrap bin over here on the top of my cart, I have a little 3-layered cart you've probably seen before. The top layer is usually just scraps. Usually I don't have a lot of scraps. I tend to use them up pretty quickly, I feel like, compared to a lot of other people. But now that I have scraps in XL, Sweet Snuggles, Fuzzy Yarns, Perfect Chunkies, and Burnat, basically, because I use a little bit of everything whenever I feel like it. It keeps things different for me, using different like types of fibers and weights and stuff. I have quite a few scraps now, and I think it's time to upgrade to a basket instead of just a small shelf. So I found this basket in my yarn room. I was using it just for some storage. I have this little like tumbler thing, little organizer. I have my hot glue gun in here. And then I found something you guys are really gonna think is hilarious compared to what I crochet now, okay? But this is one of my very first projects that I ever crocheted, okay? You've seen the cow. I've shown the cow a few times, but I also made this bee. Wow! How impressive! I can stick my finger through the stitches. Wow! And look at the sewing job on these wings. I remember like running up to my family and being like, "Isn't this so cool? Isn't it so cool?" And it's like, not really. I also didn't have safety eyes, and I thought that I could just use acrylic like tied up in knots around the eyes. I thought that would be like super cool, and yeah, it just wasn't. And it's like, I'm pretty sure this magic ring's not even like tightened. Like, you can literally see straight through the magic ring at the start. It's just so funny. And my brother also made me this bracelet, and I stuck it around this little bee. But it says tarot on there too. Anyways, I thought it was really funny. I thought you guys would appreciate this. It was supposed to be like a tiny little bumblebee, and obviously I was not using the right tension or the right hook size or any of that. So even if you're crocheting like this, trust me, it gets better. It gets a lot better, okay? But I just thought this was really funny. I really had to share this because I don't think I've actually ever shared it over here. It's quite funny to laugh at. I look at this every once in a while and I just kind of giggle at it because I know I'm so much better now, thank the Lord. So everything in my little scrap basket is now going to go into this little navy basket. It's been sitting over here next to the rest of my shelves on top of some boxes. Those boxes actually have multiple skeins of oatmeal in them, burnout oatmeal, because I cannot decide what to make in them, and I got Joann's mystery boxes a long time ago. And every once in a while I'll get a skein out and I'll make a few cats in that neutral color. So I'm really overstocked on that color apparently. So I'm just going to throw all of these scraps in here, yarn wind anything that I need to really quickly. Otherwise, we're at a pretty good spot. I will move all these scraps out of the way and do a couple touch-ups, and then I'll show you my desk again because it's literally so much better. Like, I could literally throw everything that I've gathered off my desk into the yarn shelf over here, tag my stuff, and like be done so fast it feels like now, but it was just very daunting there for a minute. So let me do a few little finishing touches and organizing some scraps and stuff, and then I'll be back to show you a little desk update. And some extra yarn labels that we've been collecting for this year. I stick them in the side usually of my little scrap bin whenever I finish some scraps, but I'm gonna put them with the rest. I also have been getting into, oh, I hope that wasn't a resin one. I've also been getting into furls hooks lately. These hooks have been amazing so far. I haven't used them very much, so I don't want to say too much or hype them up too much quite yet, just because I don't know if they're for me necessarily. So I'm starting to try to yarn under instead of yarn over whenever I'm working on my plushies and stuff. And specifically, like, resin and metal hooks are really good for this, like the shape that they have on these. Same thing with like O-Fire hooks. I've been trying my best to start using my O-Fires that I have a little bit more lately instead of just my little cheap Amazon hooks. So I'm trying to get better at that, okay? So I got some new hooks to try out, and we'll definitely be talking about those in a couple of videos coming up. I feel like everybody has like a catch-all place in their house, or in my case, every single room, and this shelf tends to be that problem. This is from work. We had a Sunday fun day beach day and we got to dress up like all beachy and we collected money for St. Jude's, but why is it in here? Why is there paintbrushes in here? Like, this is like my little art cart is what I like to call it usually, and anytime I bring another project to work on in here, like on my desk or something, like coloring, painting, drawing, literally anything I do that's artsy, I end up doing in here on like my side table desk usually, which is why I got it in the first place, because I wanted more like tabletop space or countertop space. And so like it just becomes a catch-all, like I said. So I'm gonna go through this real quick. There's definitely some acrylic yarns in here. I don't really use acrylic yarn, and especially like the only reason I have this in the first place was to do like the noses and the whiskers and stuff on the loaf cats, but I switched to doing cotton. That way it wouldn't like get peely or anything like that. I just feel like it holds up a lot better long term. So I don't really use any of this anymore. So now I'm trying to decide if I should keep it and make like some kind of little scrap cardigan or something fun out of, which I don't even think I have enough to make a scrap cardigan out of it, but or if I should just get rid of it. So I'm gonna just bag it up for now and leave it be. And then this shelf is usually like all of my eyes is what it's supposed to be, but like I said, we're getting ready to organize my safety eyes. So any of these that I want to have in my safety eye case that are like glitter eyes in particular, I'm gonna move up there because we're gonna put them into the case. But the regular black ones and stuff, I usually just keep on this shelf. I don't keep them in the case because then I'll always know where the regular black ones are if I need those. So otherwise, we'll just clean it up a little bit. The bottom shelf that you also can't see is for order packing and stuff, some little goodie bags and packaging supplies and those kinds of things, along with my brown shelf that's over here behind me that you've seen a couple times now. So I won't go into it too much because I definitely went over this the last time that we made one of these videos. Again, it looked 10 times better after last time, so I need to make it look like that again. I think I'm gonna keep this as kind of like a scrap overflow kind of thing. That way I can organize it or yarn wind things from this shelf before I put them in the bin that we just created. But I think that'll work out well, honestly, for me. But I'm gonna get rid of these two. These are some generic ones that I bought off of, I believe that was Tina maybe, or Sheen, can't remember. But they're kind of like posh-like texture. Honestly, they're pretty nice, and I never use this size of yarn, like ever. I never ever use this size of yarn, so I'm gonna get rid of it. I love these so much. That one's pretty. This one's like cotton candy. This is the pumpkin. Perfect for this time of year. Sapphire, which is deep blue. I love deep blue eyes. And then I also got pumpkin in a smaller size as well. Cute. These need to go on the table as well so that they can be put in the safety eye organizer. This is literally so much better. I don't care if it's still not organized enough for you. This is perfect for me. I love this so much. It's so much better. It's so much better. There's room for more stuff in here too now. The top shelf's all hooks and things and tools that I tend to grab and stuff. I have a whole pack of trash over here, which is nice because it's just things that were cluttering up. And I remember them being here last time, and I got rid of some of the stuff then, and they were here last time. Haven't touched them since the last time I deep cleaned my office, so it needs to be gone now. So I'm gonna go grab a little trash bag, clean up some trash, and then we're gonna jump up to the desk and start sorting, or start tagging things and doing the safety eye sorting as well in just a second. I forgot, I can't sit down yet. I have to put it all over there. It's time for a little break. I got me a little Uncrustable, okay, a little Olipop. This one's strawberry vanilla. Haven't had it yet, but it sounded really good. And then I got me some chips over here, of course. So I'm all set up. I'm gonna watch a little episode or something and just sit down for a second now that I got to move my yarn out of the way and just reset. I know it still looks like a mess around me, but my desk in front of me is so much better. Like it's spotless and I love it. Like it motivated me. Like I had to just finish one part of this task in order to motivate me to do the rest of it. So I know I had the tag plushies next on the list, but honestly I have all of the eyes set out already and my desk is cleaned and cleared, and I want to be able to use this table for plushies and laying them out and comparing prices and writing down tags and seeing how many tags I need to make at a time and stuff. So I want to make sure that I get these eyes done next actually. So I'm going to eat this food, go wash up real quick, pick up a few more things, and then I'm going to do the eyes next. So I'll get out my safety eye container, open it up, kind of show you how I like to organize mine and stuff, and we'll go from there. So there's really no good way to like show you everything that's in here without absolutely spilling everything, like holding it up for the camera. So you can't see me, I know, but I'm gonna show you everything that's kind of in my case at the moment and how I bought this and how I decided to use this little organizer personally for my safety eyes. So I haven't seen a lot of people do stuff like this. I actually got the idea from my mom, and I had kind of already been thinking about something like this, almost like a tackle box kind of thing. But this particular case is from Amazon Basics. It's linked down in my storefront in the description as well, because I absolutely love it. Before, I was keeping all of my safety eyes in the little baggies that they came in, and then I would have to undo it, get the eyes out, undo the little baggie that usually had the backings in them, undo the baggie that had the little glitter disc in them and stuff. It was a whole ordeal, a whole pain, if you would. So I decided to just kind of open them all up and put them somewhere. I've seen a lot of people use like the little like organizer drawers and just pull them out and grab what you need out of them. Personally, for me, that doesn't work a lot because my crochet goes to the couch, it goes to markets, it goes to my desk, it goes all over the place, and I just don't have I don't have a lot of desk space to keep something like that in here. So this works out perfectly for me. So I'll give you a quick rundown. Some of these might not make sense to you, but trust me, they make sense to me. So I'm going to maybe have to rearrange some of this because I have a lot of hand painted eyes now again. Like I showed you some of the ADHD hobbyist eyes that I had found. My mom had painted a new batch of eyes, so I stole some of those from her house when I was there getting yarn. And usually that's where I keep in these couple of containers right here. I keep some of my own that I have hand painted before. I keep some that I've made from retreats or some that I have for particular projects and stuff. So I kind of have those over here. These ones, these little oops cards are from Claire. She just made kind of one-offs and sold them as oops, and so that's what those are. I still have several of her eyes in here already. Some of them are already bound together, and some of them are just loose in here because I can easily tell that these bags go with these, and these bags go with these, yada yada, etc. And that's kind of what all of these little containers are for. And then they just kind of go from like the biggest to the smallest, essentially. Like here's my little 12 millimeters is where I keep these. I usually use these for like snakes and stuff. So they're teeny tiny little eyes. These are usually 14s and 16s in here. Again, I also use these for like little mini cats, mini loaf cats, or for snakes. And then we get over here, and this is where it gets a little more complicated. So these are my 28 millimeter eyes. These are just blanks that I have, and then I have all of the disc of all the different glitter colors that I have sorted into this little tiny container. And I usually just dig through here and find a color that I think matches my project pretty well. And then I find the other backing and I use those. And then here is my backings for the 28s in this little container. I don't have a lot of 28s left, and I definitely need to order more 30s, which I already got on my computer and researched all of that. This one little bin is a order of generic sinker eyes that I got. Again, they just have blanks, and there's disc in here in this one little slot with them because I know that these will all go together. At one point, I had this whole like thing filled all the way up, and so I just didn't have enough room to like put it in there with it, which I originally kind of wanted to do. And then over here we have my 25s. I feel like I use 25mm eyes probably the most out of this box, so it's very low right now. These are also 25s. This was very, very full, and as you can tell, it's been went through quite a bit, because like I said, that's the one I use the most. So both of these were full, and these were this whole thing was also full at one point of all the backs I used. These are the 18mm eyes that I use sometimes. This is kind of what I've been using for my love cats lately. And then I just have a few other miscellaneous things in here. Some other small backs that go with those. The little glitter backs in there. And then, like I said, these are usually the 2 containers I keep relatively empty, so I can put a set of safety eyes in them, like this. There's a backings, there's the glitter disc, and then there's just a couple eyes in there to bring to the couch with me in case I need those. So, like I said, I'm usually pretty lenient on how I do all of my stuff like that, but I need to add in all of the safety eyes that we now have. We have several packages that I have accumulated over time here that need to be added into here. I have hand painted eyes I got from some mystery packs off of Etsy. I have lots of eyes from Claire. I have lots of eyes from my mom, obviously. I also have white pupil eyes that I have been using a few times recently, and I would like to find a spot in here for those. So I know I'm not going to be able to fit everything in here, which is kind of unfortunate, but I can fit a lot of it in here. Like, if they match up with these sizes, I can fill these. If they match with these, I can fill these. I feel like I have enough room and time to dedicate a little more organizing to this. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to keep watching my mom's videos and get caught up on her content, as well as Passionate Kelsey. Like, you know, I do love watching her for some reason. She just makes me feel very motivated when I crochet. So I'm going to work on this, and then I will just time lapse it and kind of show you where we end up at. Okay, I finished. I know that wasn't much. I realized after I had talked about that most of these are sinker eyes, and a lot of these, actually all of these that I have in here, are just flat backs. They're not sinker backs, so I had to keep some of them separated because these are flat back eyes and these are sinker eyes. See how they're much thicker? So I need to keep them separated, so that's what I decided to do for that. I'm going to lastly put these over here, the flat backs, in there with those, and then I will fit the rest of these in here. This is my favorite part of this. It's so movable. Like, everything in here is so customizable. So you can just move it all around however you want to. You can take one of these little bins out and keep it on your desk and put the rest away if you needed to. I just love using this so much. These are all safety eyes from Space She Makes. So I'm gonna just put those down there. There's a lot of like air in it. I know I can get it in there. Maybe not, actually. There is a lot of safety eyes in here, though. There we go. And then we'll put the little ones on top. The rest of the eyes, like I said, that I can't fit in there are all just sinker backs, and also these random mystery painted eyes. I ordered, or I have in my cart at least, regular sinker backs like these to fit on those. If you've watched my channel, you know I hate these dome backs. The dome backs just don't work for me, and it pisses me off, and I've had them break, and it's just really annoying. So I don't even want to get started on that anger train. So I'm just going to pretend that they don't exist, and I'm just going to put the rest of these little baggies on my eye shelf that we have cleaned off. One more thing, done for this video. Can't lie to you guys, I'm losing a little bit of steam after I ate, and I got the eyes all done. Today's like my one full day off though, so I'm trying to make the most out of it, and I know that I need to finish this because There's so much yarn. You just look at it stacked back there. There's so much. And my desk is finally cleared off over here for the most part. And so, like, I've got a good chunk of it done, and I already feel so much more better and, like, less claustrophobic in here. But, like, goodness gracious, I need to finish my yarn and get that giant black trash bag of yarn off the floor. So okay, it doesn't matter, I have to get through this. I started this project, I told myself I'm gonna finish it if I start it, so I have to start it. Like I said, it feels so much better already, so I just need to keep going. I just need to get up out of my seat, I think, and keep going. So the next big project is probably gonna be the yarn, because now the yarn's all tangled up with all the plushie piles. So I'm probably gonna move all the plushies over here onto my table and just leave them there until we can tag them in a little bit, and then finish up my yarn. I know that I'm not gonna be able to fit all of that yarn on the shelves, but I know that I can fill in a lot of gaps. We've been doing a lot of color challenges and skein challenges lately, so, and I really haven't done a lot of yarn shopping, if any, in a long time. So I just have a few skeins I've gotten here and there. So I need to lock in and just fill in all the empty gaps, maybe even move some stuff that I don't think I'll be using upstairs and use the stuff I know I will be using to the shelves. Like, I know that there's a lot of fuzzy yarn back there, but do I use fuzzy yarn all the time? No, not really. So I might be swapping out a lot of things. So we'll see how that goes. I said I wanted to have this done by 6, so I need to get up and get going. This is the problem we're dealing with right now. This is the negative consequences of not picking up after yourselves, dear crafters. Okay, this is bad. This is all of the yarn I got out for projects and then never put back away, so now it's just out pretty much, except for a few skeins I moved out of the bin to fit in all the scrap yarns. Whew. Okay, like, I know I have a short torso, but this trash bag filled with yarn is like one of those huge, like, 30-gallon trash bags, like industrial sized trash bags, and it's literally almost as tall as me. This is insane how much yarn I got. Okay, I'm going to show you some of the yarns that I got and kind of what my plan is based on how much yarn I am adding for those collections, because I know everything in this bin is like has me inspired, right? So if there's colors on my shelf that are not giving me inspiration and they're not giving me a drive to want to crochet, my theory is right now that I should move those upstairs. I should either just move them upstairs and then see if I use them for like the next month or so, and if I don't go up there to get them, guess what? I should probably destash them at that point, because then I'm probably not going to use them. But I'm also one of those people, like, if I don't see the yarn or the colors, I probably won't think about using them. So I don't know if that's a good idea or not, but that's kind of what I'm rolling with for now. Okay, so I'm going to show you some of the yarns that we do have in here. So I did mention we have a few new Burnett's. This is the Clary Sage color. This was one of the ones I was most excited to get, probably in the Burnett yarns. I wanted to talk about it, but I don't think I've ever actually seen this color in person. I love this color though. It's a very like light green sea foamy sage color, and I love it so much. This is like one of my favorite colors, honestly. It's very pretty. I also got Tabby, which I was really excited about. My mom had this extra skein of Tabby, and I love using this yarn for loaf cats specifically. They always sell so well in this color, so I definitely want to make sure I make loaf cats out of this. I also got a few skeins of snow cone. I've been loving fuzzy yarns lately, and this is just another great reason why. I love the way that these look and the way that they work up for plushies, but you can still see your stitches. So it has that fuzzy feel, but you can still see what you're doing. And particularly, I think I want to make some Yetis out of these as the winter months are getting closer, and I'm still trying to prep for all of my Christmas and fall and cold winter month projects. So I think these would be really cute for like penguins and Yetis. Also, the fuzzy yarn, of course, would make adorable loaf cats. That's also why I got some more frosting yarn. I think that'll be perfect for that. And I have several other newer colors of Burnett for my collection, at least. I might pull them out as we go, but I just wanted to show you a few of each. Otherwise, it might be a little boring if I go through literally all of them. I gotta take those headphones off. It's starting to hurt my head. I've worn them for too long. Okay, the next couple skeins that I have in here, which I've already gotten some of them out to make the sloth, is Hobie yarns. This is Baby Snuggle. I have some Honey Bunny. I think I have some Toucan in here as well. My mom doesn't use yarns that are these small very often, and if she does, she has Elise Voluto that she really likes, and she also has like Naughty Ball that she usually uses for small projects like that and for keychains and those kinds of things. I've really loved the look of these though ever since she got them. They are just such vibrant colors and perfect colors for those Pokemon and character kind of patterns and makes and stuff. So I have started kind of getting more into that lately, and especially with Anime Fest we did a few months ago. And so I am very excited that I got my hands on quite a few new colors and stuff. I think that these primary colors are just, they just spark a lot of joy right now. And my perfect collection is very small. It's mostly just pinks and greens and like very girly, fruity kind of colors, I would describe it as. And so it'll be really nice to have some more of the basic colors so I can do actual projects in them. So I'm very excited about that. I'm also very excited because I have the pattern for the 7 pirates, I think is what it's called, fun-sized pirates, and it's like all of the One Piece characters, and I really want to go back and make those. I think it would be so much fun to make them in this yarn in particular. I made Luffy a long time ago, if you remember. It was almost like a year ago now probably, but I made him in Burnat and he was huge, but I really want to make him in like a smaller yarn so he's more huggable, more cute, I would say. So we have several of these, like I said. So I'm not going to show you all the colors, but there's some beautiful color combinations in here that I'm very excited about. Particularly this baby snuggle. This is a really pretty color. Another thing I took a lot of is both the Parfait XL and Sweet Snuggles from her collection as well. She does not like to use the big yarns as much. It hurts her wrists a lot more than it does for me. And I've been really into using these chunky yarns lately. I mean, super into it. You saw me make the purple chunky cows in the purple themed video. I loved that pattern, and I told her in particular I really want to make those in like every single color imaginable, and that starts with having more colors to use because, again, that's a very limited collection in my yarn stash. I have some blues, pinks, purples, and like a few miscellaneous colors, but not a lot of colors. So I'm very excited that I can get some more of these colors in my collection so I can start working on some of my regular patterns but in bigger yarns so they turn out a little bit bigger so I can get a little bit more out of them as well. So that's mostly what's left in here. It's just a bunch of little skeins of the Hobie yarn, black and white. I needed both of those. I have some more Burnat, some speckled Burnat, which I haven't used in quite a while. I have some dotted Burnat, and some other basic colors and stuff, and the sprinkles color, I really like that color too. So that's pretty much it right now on my yarn collection. Let me rotate you up and show you really quickly kind of the layout that I have already if you haven't noticed. I don't want to move up too much because then you can't see what I'm talking about, but this one cube shelf over here has always been Sweet Snuggles, regular jumbo chunky yarns, Parfait XL, those things in those 3 little cubbies. And it's gotten dwindled down quite a bit because I keep using it. I know there's quite a few colors that I also have out of the shelves that need to be put back into their places as well. And then, like I said, we got lots of new colors to fill in the gaps in like the rainbow. So that's kind of gonna be my goal when I'm filling this stuff into, is to kind of fill in the rainbow order of things. I just want it to be a little bit more even and less like hectic or hard to take in the background, because it feels like there's just a lot of everything happening. And if it's at least color sorted again in each section like it was originally, then that'll be a little bit easier on your guys' eyes too. So Parfait Chunky, and then I have Sweet Snuggles in the top bin up here. Well, this one's Sweet Snuggles too, but I use all of these Sweet Snuggles variegateds for snakes usually. I really love how they turn out in that yarn, in that colorways and those kinds of things. So I've really enjoyed using it, but I just haven't been making a lot of snakes lately. And if I have, I've actually been using Parfait Chunky a bit too. So I haven't been using it much, and I'm just thinking I need to deconsolidate the Sweet Snuggles area kind of on my shelf up there. Especially because that's one of the yarns I didn't get any more of because my mom had already kind of sworn off Sweet Snuggles Light. And so she didn't have any more of it to add into my collection either. So my very, very top shelf that hangs above everything is all Sweet Snuggles Light. So I can kind of condense that down a little bit more. I think the last big yarn haul I had was around Christmas time, and it was mostly Sweet Snuggles, which is one I had to add that shelf to. So I might have a few skeins upstairs as well of some colors that I've ran out of since then too, that I can go grab and fill in the rainbow up there. But otherwise I won't have any new stuff to add to that section really. And then obviously the very bottom's all burnt out, but you already know that because I talk about that one all the time and I point to that one all the time. So we'll just kind of go through everything, and I'm just going to start probably with laying out the most of these yarns that I did get kind of in color order, so I know where to kind of put them in at. And then I'll be taking any kind of scraps that I might see or skeins that might need to be caked up, taking them off the shelf and winding them up in a little bit as well, and put them in the new scrap bin that we have. So come on, it's time to get to work. These are all of the new colors that we have now, so take them in. These are the new green ones that I used for the sloth, and this light gray color I almost used. So basically what this was before was all the Sweet Snuggles variegated was right here. This is like the only bin I had for Parfait Chunky, and then the bottom was like a little bit of gumdrop, which is technically like equivalent to Sweet Snuggles, and then all of my variegated Parfait Chunkies, like my fruit yarns and stuff like that. So I think I'm gonna keep the bottom shelf relatively the same and just move these in between these two shelves, so I can have like, since the Sweet Snuggles up here ends in like the pinks, I want to start at like pink, purple, blue, green, yellow, and like reverse rainbow order down, and then there will be all the variegateds at the bottom. Actually, I might still be able to fit like the majority of the colors in one slot, and that would free up a whole nother cubby for other yarns. Should we do that? I think we're gonna do that. Ah, fine, let me redo this. See, how much more satisfying is that? Oh my god, I love it. The white is like the one color I have two of, so I'm just gonna put it behind all of the other skeins because I will remember that it's there, right? Probably not. If I take out, I have an extra pink and an extra orange, and if I take those out, I could probably move the blues to this shelf, and then the grayish blues and then the browns will stay here. I'm gonna do that. Ta-da! This is crazy. This looks so much better. So much better. Oh, I can't wait for the before and after. It's gonna look so much cleaner, so much nicer. Okay, the bottom one is just, let me move you down. The bottom one's clearly gumdrop yarns and parfait fruit yarns and those kinds of things. I'm gonna leave this relatively open for now because I have a feeling I will be needing space and I don't want to shove everything in there. Just have to get it back out in a little bit if I need room for some other kind of yarn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hop over to the other side so we can do the Parfait XL really quickly and sort through all of those on the other side because we already have a plan for those. I feel like the lighting is so much worse on this side because there's not a lot of natural light coming in this way. But oh well. I think instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to match the Parfait Chunky. I've changed my mind. I'm allowed to do that. That one starts with red and pinks and yellows, greens, purpley, cool blues, browns, and blacks. I want to do the same thing on this side, starting with reds, and then go down. That's what I've decided. So again, I'm going to go over to the table and set out all of the XL yarns, and then we'll start filling up the shelf. I also need a drink. I've been talking so much. Ignore the whips, too. Okay, this is all of the XL yarn and Sweet Snuggles yarn. I have a lot of these colors already, which means we'll do the same thing we did for the Parfait Chunky, and if we have an extra of it, we'll put it behind the one that's already been opened or being used. But there is several new colors in here that I'm excited about, especially this key lime color. Like I love this color in the Parfait Chunky, so Parfait XL, it's gonna be so cute. I have so many good ideas. Before I start putting things on my shelf though, I do need to grab the yarn that was out and about on my desk and stuff. I already did that for the Parfait Chunky. It was already kind of over there in that section, but I have some back here, so let me grab those. Okay, I'm gonna start emptying out the top cubby. Go ahead and grab my pinks and my reddish color that I have over here, and we'll start filling up the top shelf for the Parfait XL. I have officially thrown on Love Island. I am ready to get going. Hoorah! It looks so cute. It looks just like the Parfait Chunky side pretty much, and I freaking love it. I also had to put a few skeins between the wall and the shelf because I am out of room, and I'm going to clear this out, but I didn't want to fill it up with more of this yarn. So I thought about putting it in that cubby hole on the other side like I had mentioned, but because then it would kind of flow from like this Parfait Chunky browns to like the XL browns, and I think that would look really cute with the little variegated ones at the bottom of it, but I don't know how I feel about that yet, so I'm still gonna wait and see after I clean out this section what we kind of end up with. There is so much happening here. It's so much. You can kind of tell what it's supposed to be, but it's supposed to be like red or yellow, orange, reds, yellows, greens, blues, purples, pinks, and then in the corner is all my like variegated neutrals and regular neutrals and all of that stuff over here in these two bins and stuff too. So, and some extra scraps and stuff that I've always kept over there. So we've got a lot to get through. It's already 5:30. Let's get going. Oh my gosh, guys, look at how much better this looks. Literally, this is 10 million times better in my eyes. I know it's still a mess and it's a bit full still, okay? It's very full, but I love it. I love it so much, and I'm finally glad I got those two shelves cleared off. I feel like those have been full for quite a while because I've been making so much stuff recently and I haven't tagged anything. So I'm very excited to sit down and tag everything. So let me show you part of the Plushy mountain that we're going to be tagging here now. Okay, so here's the side table. We got it all cleared off, but now it's all, you know, stacked full of plushies again. I have a lot of stuff to tag in here. Some little things that don't need to be tagged will just get put into bins. I also need to go through these two little mini market bags back here and make sure that there's nothing in there that's not tagged. I feel like there might be a couple of things that got thrown in there just to clear off some space off the shelves without them being tagged first. So I need to do a lot of that today. We'll see what happens, but I'm still watching Love Island. I'm on season 2 right now. It's very bingeable. I've loved it so far, but I just have a lot to get through as quickly as possible. It's already almost 7 o'clock. I should have guessed that this would take 10 times longer than I thought, but I stopped a lot, okay? I got distracted with some video ideas and stuff, and I had to eat, okay? You know, I'm sorry, I'm a human. I had to eat a couple meals and get a couple snacks and get a refill in my water and all that stuff, so. But it's looking so much better, so I'm ready to tag all this crap, get it out of here, and then do a final little reveal after some cleanup and stuff. And that's it. We're done. Here is a little before. As you can see, it was an absolute mess. Like, you couldn't even see over the desk. You couldn't see anything. It was so bad. Everything got so stacked up. Again, here's the after. It's so much better. It's so much better. My desk is fully cleaned. My side table is perfectly opened, ready for more projects. The yarn is all organized by color again and where it should be finally. So I'm I'm ecstatic at the results. I'm so happy it's done. I still need to take out the trash and wipe down a few things here and there, but other than that, it is pretty much done, and I'm so grateful to have just had a full day to reset everything. So I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for tuning in to the very end of this. If you watched to the end, leave me a little like broom emoji, a little dust broom emoji or something like that, so I know that you watched all the way to the end of this video. And if you have any questions for me, drop them down below, and if you need me, you know where to find me, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.